Hello my dear children, this is class 11th chemistry. The chapter going on is structure of atom. Our previous lecture was dual nature of light. Today we will start with the numericals of the wave and the particle nature of light. So first of all start with the numericals by considering light as a wave, that is electromagnetic wave. The formula you will apply is today's E is equal to h nu. This is Planck's equation. And the second formula you will apply C is equal to nu lambda, okay, velocity and frequency wavelength. After that wave number is equal to 1 by lambda. So let us start. Open your NCERT book exercise. I am taking your question number 5 first. Question number 5 of NCERT, numericals of the light. Question number 5. The question is yellow light. Yellow light is emitted from the sodium lamp. It has wavelength 500 nanometer. Wavelength is 500 nanometer. And the question is calculate frequency and the wave number. Wave number as well as frequency. Calculate frequency and wave number. Very simple numerical. You apply the formula C is equal to nu lambda and nu is equal to C by lambda. C is the velocity of light which is fixed 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and the lambda is 500 into 10 raised to power minus 9 meters. Nanometer, it is 10 raised to power minus 9 meters. So you convert the units from nanometer to meter, meter cancel, your answer will come in per second. And this is the first answer. The second is wave number is a nu bar, it is equal to reciprocal of the wavelength. So whatever the wavelength, it is 1 by 500 into 10 raised to power minus 9. Your wave number will come in per meter. So this is very simple numerical. That is your first topic by considering light as a wave. This was a numerical number 5. Next numerical is number 6. Numerical number 6 is same as that of light. Now I am taking your numerical number 6. Calculate the energy. Now calculate the energy. Energy is equal to h nu. E is equal to h nu. Planck's equation. Calculate the energy of the photon which has a frequency. So formula you apply, E is equal to h nu, and h is a Planck's constant 6.6 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joule second, and the frequency is given. It has frequency 3 into 10 raised to power 15 hertz. Hertz means per second. Hertz. So your second cancel, your energy will come in joule. So next second part is again calculate the energy. Now the wavelength is given. Now formula same applied. E is equal to h nu, and h nu is a C by lambda. So h is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8, and lambda, whatever lambda is given, put it is 0.5 into 10 raised to power minus 10 meters. It's given in angstrom. You convert the angstrom into meter, 10 raised to power minus 10 meters. Now this overs your numerical number is 6. Energy of the photon. By applying in the first it was frequency given, in the second it is wavelength given. Now I am taking the numerical number next. It's over, 6th over. Numerical number 7th. Again the question is calculate wavelength, frequency and the wave number when that period is given. You calculate frequency first. Frequency is equal to 1 by time period. So it's 1 by whatever time period is given. It's 2 into 10 raised to power minus 10 second. So your frequency will come in per second. After that calculate that. This is one more formula, that is frequency. Nu is equal to 1 by time period. Now second part, calculate the wavelength. You know C is equal to nu lambda, and lambda is equal to C by nu. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and frequency is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 10 second. Your lambda will come in meters. The second cancel. 3 into, it is your frequency is in per second cancel, lambda will come in meters. The third is calculate frequency. Now it is very simple again. C is equal to nu lambda. So frequency is already we have calculated, that is 1 by time period. Now the question is calculate wave number. Wave third part. Wave number is a new bar. Wave number is equal to 1 by lambda. So whatever your lambda will come in the second part, you put here and your wave number will come. Now I am taking your numerical number 8 of the light topic. Numerical number 8 is, it is calculate the number of the photon of the light with wavelength is given. E is equal to h nu. So your energy, you calculate the energy. It is your wavelength is 4,000 picometer. So h is 6.6 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joule second, and nu is not given. It is lambda given, so nu is equal to c by lambda. C is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second, and the lambda is given in picometer. It is 4,000 picometer. So 4,000 pico means 10 raised to power minus 12 meters. So in this way you can calculate the energy which will come in joule. The question asked is calculate the number of photon. Let it is x joule. After calculation, let it is x joule. You will apply x joule is the energy of one photon. You will apply unitary method and your energy is given in the numerical. Calculate the number of photons in 1 joule energy. Then 1 joule is the energy of how many photons? So it's 1 by x. You just do 1 by x. X is your calculation. So multiply by 1. So answer will come in the photons. So this numerical. After that I am taking your numerical number 9. 5, 6, 7, 8 is over. Numerical number 9 is of the photoelectric effect that we have done in the previous lecture. Photoelectric effect is h nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy. So this is a photoelectric effect. H nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy. Now I am taking your numerical. A photon of the wavelength is given. The wavelength is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 7 meters. A light with wavelength this much, it strikes on the metal surface. If the work function is 2.13 electron volt. So 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 joules. So your work function is h nu naught. So h nu naught is given. This is write down. This is work function. So work function is h nu naught. So we have converted the work function into joules. Next is question is calculate the energy of the photon. Calculate the energy of the photon and also calculate the kinetic energy. Also calculate the kinetic energy when the velocity of the photon, kinetic energy, calculate the kinetic energy as well as the velocity electron. Now I am taking your first energy. I will calculate the energy first. E is equal to h nu. So h nu is a c by lambda. So put your h is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. C is the velocity of light, 3 into 10 to the power 8, and lambda is 4 into 10 raised to power minus 7 meters. In this way the energy will come. So now you apply the formula. E is equal to E naught plus kinetic energy. So you have h nu naught, you have energy, and now calculate kinetic energy. After calculating E, h nu naught is the E naught. It is given. Now you apply E minus E naught. This will come kinetic energy. So whatever E will come, put here. E naught is a work function. It is given. We have converted this into joules. Put here, this comes to kinetic energy. After that, calculate velocity. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, and velocity is equal to under root 2 kinetic energy by m. M is the mass of electron. It is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. And kinetic energy will calculate. Put here your 2 multiplied by kinetic energy by m. Taking under root, your answer will come. This is from photoelectric effect. Now I am taking the next numerical. Non-numerical number is your 10 numerical. We have completed 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I am taking 10th numerical. The question is wavelength is given. The wavelength is 242 nanometer. 242 nanometer. So this much radiation of the wavelength, this much is used to ionize. Ionize means to take out the electron from the metal surface. The question is calculate the energy in kilojoule per mole. Kilojoule per mole. So let's apply the formula. Same formula is equal to h nu. Nu is the C by lambda. H is 6.6 into minus 34. C is 3 into 10 power 8. And the lambda is 242. Nano is 10 to the power 9 meters. Minus 9 meters. So this much energy, this energy will come in joule. But the question is convert it into kilojoule per mole. Now whatever your answer will come, this will come in joule. After that the next step is, let your answer is x joules. You convert it into kilojoule. You know 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. So joule cancel. Your answer x, your x is the value, you divide your value by 1000, your answer will come in kilojoule now. But it is not in per mole. To bring it into per mole, you multiply this by Avogadro's number 6.022 into 10 power 23, whose unit is per mole. Then you multiply your kilojoule with Avogadro's number, your answer will come in kilojoule per mole. So first of all calculate energy in joules, after that convert it into kilojoules, and after that multiply the kilojoules energy, the energy which you have calculated in kilojoule, multiplied by Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number is in per mole, so your answer will come in kilojoules per mole. Next numerical. Now next is there is a 25 watt bulb. 25 watt bulb. Bulb is here. Watt means joule per second. Power is equal to energy by time. This much bulb emits a light. The yellow light of wavelength is 0.57 micrometer. It's a micro. So micro means 10 to the power minus 6 meter. So bulb is emitting yellow light with such wavelength. The question is calculate the rate of emission of quanta. So what you will apply? You will apply the formula same, is equal to h nu. H nu is the C by lambda, and energy is equal to 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. C is the velocity of light, 3 into 10 to the power 8, and the lambda is 0.57 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter. So your energy will come in joule. Okay, after that what you will do? Now this is your first part. Now you want to calculate how many photons are coming out. So this is watt per 25 watt, it will 25 joule per second. This means 25 joules of energy is coming out from the bulb in 1 second. Then let your this answer is x joule. So x joule is the energy of how many photons. So it's 1 by 25 multiplied by x. First of all calculate energy. E is equal to h nu. Nu is a C by lambda. After that your energy will come in joule. After that there is a, what you will do, you will apply unitary method. 25 watt bulb. 25 watt bulb means it is giving 25 joule energy in 1 second. You will apply unitary method. 25 joule of energy is given by 1 photon in 1 second. Then x joule of energy is given by how many photons per second. So it's 1 by 25 multiplied by x. So this is all. Next numerical. Now you can take the numerical. After that you can take the numerical yourself, the same type of numerical. And now numerical number 12. Electrons are emitted with the zero velocity. When the velocity is 0, kinetic energy is 0. So your photoelectric effect is h nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy. Your formula now become h nu is equal to h nu naught. Because the velocity is 0, so your kinetic energy will come 0. So electrons are emitted with a zero velocity from the metal surface where wavelength is 6800 angstrom. The question is wavelength is given, so you can apply h cancel. Nu is equal to nu naught. Nu is a C by lambda. So C is 3 into 10 to the power 8. Your lambda is given. It is 6500. 6500 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters. The nu naught, as the threshold frequency, will come. Now the question is, calculate the threshold frequency as well as work function. After calculating threshold frequency, that is nu naught, you apply the second, that is h nu naught. H nu naught is a work function. You multiply 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34 into the nu naught that you have just calculated. This comes photoelectric work function. You will call it W naught. Now I am taking your numerical number is, after that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all numericals we have covered. Now next numerical is up to 12. There are numericals of the light and the photoelectric effect. Your 13th, 14th numerical is of the Bohr's model. After completion of the Bohr's model, we will take the numericals of the Bohr's model. This is all about your numericals of the light. So what topics, what formula we have used today? Formula used: C is equal to nu lambda, Wave number nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda, E is equal to h nu, and you can put nu is the C by lambda if by chance nu is not given. After that you can also apply E is equal to n h nu. N is the number of photons. Now next, this is your first, second and the third, fourth formula we have used of the photoelectric effect. H nu is equal to h nu naught plus kinetic energy. So this is a formula from the photoelectric effect. This type of numericals is also given in your NCERT examples, in a text and some extra books. You may take the examples from the extra books for a lot of practice of the photoelectric effect numericals, which are very important. Now I'm taking, after that, I'm taking your next topic is Bohr's atomic model. Bohr's atomic model. So this model is totally based upon the term quantization, but the Rutherford model is not based upon the quantization. So what is quantization? First, quantization is a quantity which vary discontinuously, not continuously. So it is the quantity which vary discontinuously but not continuously. In my last lecture I explained you what is meant by the continuous and the discontinuous term. So Bohr's atomic model based upon the term quantization, but Rutherford model not based upon quantization. This is the main difference between Rutherford and Bohr's model. So what Bohr said in the postulates, according to Bohr, what is the atomic model, what type of atomic model Bohr proposed? Bohr said the entire mass of the atom, like Rutherford, depend upon the nucleus. Nucleus is at the center. Same as Rutherford said, nucleus is present at the center. Nucleus is positively charged, containing proton and neutron that collectively called nucleons. The differences of the Rutherford and Bohr. Now the Bohr's this total path around the nucleus, so it has circular paths. You suppose it is like roads, circular roads. They are circular paths. So the first postulate of Bohr is, according to Bohr, what is the atom? An atom consists of a positively charged nucleus at the center, and electron revolve in these fixed orbits, having what fixed? Energy fixed and angular momentum fixed. So these are the orbits. This is your Bohr's model. He named it n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, and so on. It's K, it's L, M, N. Electron only and only flow in this orbit only. So this orbit, this is called orbit, circular path they are. So orbit, you may call it shells, you may call it energy levels. Why energy levels? It's very important to share with you what is energy level. Each orbit has its own energy. En is minus 2 pi square me4 divided by n square h square into z square. This formula will come in physics. So E is equal to minus 2 pi square, m is a mass of electron, E is a charge of electron, Z is the atomic number, N is the number of orbit, H is a Planck's constant. So these almost all are the constants. Up to this is the constants. By putting all these constants, m is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. What comes? It comes minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 into z square by n square joules. So each orbit has its own energy. So according to Bohr, the first postulate is going on. Atom consists of a positively charged nucleus at the center, and where are the electrons? Electrons revolve around the nucleus in a fixed path, fixed circular path. These are called orbits or shells or energy levels. The question is why they are called energy levels? Because each orbit has its own energy. And that energy you can calculate by applying the formula of minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 into z square by n square. N is the number of the orbit, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Now what is a Z? Z is the atomic number. Z is equal to 1, Z is equal to 2, Z is equal to 1 for hydrogen, Z is equal to 2 for helium plus, Z is equal to 3 for lithium 3 plus, because this Bohr model is only based upon single electron. Bohr explained the stability of the atom by taking single electron concept. That is, single electron is present in hydrogen, helium 2 plus single electron, lithium 3 plus single electron. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1, atomic number of helium is 2, atomic number of lithium is 3, and beryllium is Be4 plus. So these are single electron species: hydrogen, He2 plus, lithium 3 plus, beryllium 4 plus. All these are the, this is your, you can write this way: 2 plus, 3 plus and 4 plus. So these are all single electron species. So now this is your energy levels. These are also called stationary states. These orbits are also called stationary state. Stationary does not mean that electron is stationary. Stationary means as long as electron is revolving in the orbit, its energy is fixed. So it's also called the ground state. As long as the electron is present in of the hydrogen, let it is the atomic model of hydrogen atom. For a hydrogen atom, electron is 1 and it is present in n is equal to 1. As long as electron is revolving in n is equal to 1, it cannot lose energy, because energy can only then be get lost if this continues movement. So energy, electron when moving in the orbit, it cannot lose energy during the motion in this orbit, because this type of losing energy become a continuous manner of losing energy. Again listen, this get over your first postulate, Bohr's atomic model and the Rutherford atomic model. What is the difference? Bohr's model is based upon the term quantization. Quantization in detail I will take in my next postulates. Now this is Bohr's model for hydrogen atom or for hydrogen-like species, that is single electron species. So this is your nucleus, electron revolving in these orbit. Electron, this is hydrogen atom, electron is revolving in n is equal to 1. These are called orbits, these are called shells, these are called energy levels. Why they are called energy levels? Because as long as each orbit has its own energy and it is a fixed, this orbit, this and every orbit has its fixed energy. You can calculate by applying this formula. Now after that they are called stationary states. What does stationary means? Stationary does not mean electron is stationary. No, electron is moving, its energy is fixed. As long as electron is revolving in the orbit, its energy is fixed. Electron does not have its own energy. Electron has the energy of the orbit. When the electron shifted to another orbit, jump to the another orbit, it takes energy of that orbit. Electron not have its energy own. Now they are called ground state. This is what is the ground state of the hydrogen atom? Electron. Answer is n is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 is the ground state of electron of a hydrogen atom or hydrogen like species, and these all are the excited states. Okay, now this is about your Bohr's model, and the next postulate is only those orbits are permitted whose angular momentum is mvr. Only those orbits are permitted, or you can say electron will revolve only in those orbits whose angular momentum is L, and its mass velocity, its moment mvr, whose angular momentum is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. What is n stands for? For angular momentum of the first orbit is h by 2 pi. For the second orbit you put 2h by 2 pi. For the third you put 3h by 2 pi. So n is equal to 1, 2, 3, not in fraction. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. That means you can write energy and the angular momentum of the electron, both are quantized. Energy and angular momentum of electron both are quantized. Quantized means fixed. As long as the electron is present in the orbit, energy is fixed. So this is angular. You can write this is next postulate. As long only those orbits are permitted around the nucleus whose angular momentum is integral multiple of h by 2 pi. For electron when revolving in one orbit, its angular momentum is h by 2 pi. Here angular momentum become 2h by 2 pi, and here n is equal to 3 become 3. In every orbit angular momentum and the energy is fixed. Fixed means quantized. Now, as long Bohr's explain the stability of the atom like this, electron, as long as electron is revolving in the orbit, it cannot lose energy. If it do so, such type of losing energy become continuous. Energy loses as well as absorb only in a discontinuous manner according to Planck. So what Planck said, energy is absorbed and emitted in a discontinuous manner. So this model is based upon the Planck's quantum theory. As long as electron is revolving in this orbit, it can never lose energy, because electron not have its own energy. Electron has the energy of the orbit. An electron when moving, it can never lose energy, because such type of losing energy become continuous. Energy can only then get lost when electron jump from excited to the ground state, that we will take in the next lecture. Today I will only explain how Bohr's explain the stability of the atom. And electron, because there is no lower orbit than n is equal to 1, so electron cannot fall into the nucleus as it fell into the nucleus in the Rutherford's model. Because in Rutherford model, no concept of orbit, fixed orbits were there. Just Rutherford said electron revolving around the nucleus. Because electron is negatively charged, nucleus is positively charged, so there is a force of attraction. So by this, when the electron move around the nucleus, it will go on losing energy in a continuous manner. But this model is based upon word discontinuous. Remember this. So Bohr's explain the stability of atom like this. Electron can never fall into the nucleus as long as it is present, it is moving in this orbit. There is no lower orbit than n is equal to 1. So this is the reason electron cannot fall into the nucleus. And also remember, energy, angular momentum is fixed. Now you can calculate the velocity of the electron as well as the radius of the electron in any of the orbit. There is a very 2-3 formulas. You can write down those formulas. So radius, you can, if you want to calculate the radius, you can write r and n for any of the orbit, first orbit, second orbit. So radius is 0.53 into n square by z, so angstrom. So you can calculate n square is the number of orbit and z again is the atomic number, which is 1 for hydrogen, 2 for helium 2 plus, 3 for lithium 3 plus is the charge, and 4 for beryllium 4 plus. So this is single electron species only. Z is the atomic number of hydrogen, helium 2 plus, lithium 3 plus and beryllium 4 plus. So in this way you can calculate the radius. You want to calculate the velocity of the electron moving in any of the orbit. There is one more formula you can write: velocity and n for any of the orbit. You can calculate, you can write the formula. It is 2.188 into 10 raised to power 6 into z by n. It's a meter per second. So you calculate the velocity of the electron moving in any of the orbit by applying the formula 2.188 into 10 to the power 6 into z by n. In this way you can calculate energy. Energy is minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 into z scale by n scale. I have already written. This is a radius and this is the velocity. We will take all these numericals in my next lecture. So this is the postulates, 4 postulates I have covered, 5. The first is, according to Bohr, nucleus is at the center, and where is the electron? Electron revolving in a fixed circular path. You imagine these circular paths are like roads. These are circular roads. As long as electron is in the road, electron is safe. It cannot fall down, because as long as electron is revolving in the orbit, and it can never lose energy, because such manner of losing energy become continuous, and energy can only be absorbed, emitted in a discontinuous manner. So after that, second postulate is radius, third is about velocity, fourth is about angular momentum. These all are the postulates of Bohr's model. And what are the achievements of Bohr's model? There are 2 achievements. The second achievement, that is spectra of hydrogen atom, we will take in the next lecture. Today I have explained you the stability of the hydrogen atom by Bohr's concept. So what topic we have covered today? Numericals of the light. Light is a wave as well as particle. We have covered the numericals of photoelectric effect as well. So you can do the practice from the examples and from in text. After taking the numericals, the topic completed is Bohr's model postulates as well as one achievement. The second achievement of this model, that is to how Bohr successful in explaining the spectra of H atom, we will take in the next lecture. Thank you.